Hi viewers, today our class about the photophosphorylation. The photophosphorylation is a part of light reaction which takes place in the grana thylakoid membrane. In last class we have discussed about the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, the electrons are transported to different type of transporters. Due to the transportation of electron, with the help of the movement of electron, the ATP is synthesized. So that in presence of light, the photosystems are active and they can release the electron. That electron is transported to different transporters. Finally, it can synthesize the ATP. The synthesis of ATP is called as phosphorylation, which takes place in presence of light. So that we call as photophosphorylation. How the photophosphorylation takes place, how the ATP is synthesized. So now we see here. So this is the thylakoid membrane. We know about that the outer portion is called as stroma, the inner portion is called as lumen. This is stroma, this part is lumen. So here, this is the thylakoid membrane where the PS1, PS2, that means PS2 and PS1 both are located. See here, this is the thylakoid membrane. Two photosystems are located. This is PS1. When the PS1 receives the light, that means photons light, it releases its electron. It goes to excited stage and release the electron. The electron goes to iron sulfur to ferredoxin. Ferredoxin to the electron goes to the NADP, where the NADP located in stroma. NADP, it receives the H plus ions from the stroma, electrons from the ferredoxin, and deducted into the NADPH and H plus. It is a part of assimilatory power. So next see here, this is the PS2 which is located lumen side. When the PS2 receives the photons, that means light energy, it goes to excited stage and release the electron. The electron goes to pheophytin, then pheophytin to plastoquinone. The plastoquinone receive the electron from the pheophytin and receive the H plus ions from the stroma. For the reduction of plastoquinone, essential of electrons and photons is here. So that electrons are supplied by the pheophytin, photons are supplied from the stroma. So here the plastoquinone receive the 2 electrons for the reduction and it convert into the plastoquinol, PQH2. Then plastoquinol release its electron, that means it is undergo oxidation and it release the electron. The electrons goes to the cytochrome. Then H plus ions are here. The H plus ions are transported to lumen. The H plus ions are supplied from the stroma, but after the oxidation the H plus ion goes to the lumen. In this process electron goes to cytochrome, next to plastocyanin, next to PS1. We know about the non-cyclic system. So during this process, what is happening here? Here the H plus ions are transported from stroma to lumen. Then another process is there, that is photolysis of water. That means the PS2 lost its electron here due to the receiving of light. It gets electron from the splitting of water. This process is called as photolysis of water. We know about that in last class. The water splitted into the different ions, those are photons, electrons and oxygen gas. The PS2 system. The electrons goes to the PS2. So directly the PS2 does not receive the electron. First the electron goes to manganese protein which is present in the thylakoid membrane. The manganese protein receives the electron and it supplies to the PS2. So here, due to the splitting of water, oxygen is released as the gas. Electrons are moved towards the PS2. What is remaining here? Protons or H plus ions. That means here in the lumen, what is happening? The H plus ions are accumulated by the two process. This process is the quinone cycle. The plastoquinone receives the reduction. It takes the H plus ions from the stroma and release into lumen. Due to the splitting of water, this is a second process. It is also give the H plus ions. Due to the quinone cycle and photolysis of water, the H plus ions are a number of increased in the lumen than the stroma. Stroma is losing its protons. How? H plus ion transported to NADP. NADPH2 is formed here. H plus are supplies to the plastoquinone and finally it reaches to lumen. In these two process, the lumen is increased by the number of proton ions than the stroma. Due to this process, what is happening here? The pH value is differentiated. The pH of lumen is 5. The pH of stroma is 8. Due to the imbalance of pH, difference of pH, there is increase the powerful electrogradient. There is increasing of powerful electrogradient in the chloroplast. So in this time, the protons are increased in lumen. They are very low in number stroma. Then what happened? So it will be imbalanced. So that due to the increasing of the electronic gradient, the photons they wants to transport to the stroma. The number of protons are here. They go back to the stroma for the balance of pH. But this is a thylakoid membrane. It is impermeable to protons. That is, any ions does not goes through this membrane. When the material or ions which can transport through the membrane, we call as, that is the osmosis. The process is called as osmosis. Something is moving through the membrane. It is called as osmosis. But here the membrane is impermeable. It cannot give the permission to transport of protons. But here there is another protein. It's a functional protein. It is called as ATP synthetase. ATP synthetase. Or it is also called as ATP synthase. ATP synthetase or ATP synthase. It is also called as CF, coupling factor. It is also called as coupling factor. So another name is here. It is also called as F0 and F1 complex. ATP synthetase, ATP synthase or coupling factor, or another name, that is F0 F1 complex. It can help in the synthesis of ATP due to the transportation of H plus ions from lumen to stroma. It helps in the synthesis of ATP, so it is called as ATP synthetase. It is same as the ATP synthase. Coupling factor, here ATP is synthesized by the coupling of ADP and inorganic phosphate. So it is called as coupling factor. F0 F1 complex. So first we know about the structure of the ATP synthetase, then we will easily understand what is F0 and F1 complex. So here in the membrane the ATP synthetase is present. It consists the two parts. That means the enzyme is, the protein complex is consists the two parts. The shape of this complex is as the a shuttle racket structure. That means it has the like this manner. A head with a long stalk, a round head and a stalk. The stalk portion is located in the thylakoid membrane. This portion is called as F0 part. The globular portion is present inside the stroma. This part of the complex is called as F1. This is the F0 portion, this is the F1 portion. The F0 and F1 consisting two parts here, so it is called as F0 F1 complex. It is the structure of enzyme. How it works? F0 complex. The F0 complex is located in the membrane, which is act as the proton channel. That means it is act as a bridge. So that here the number of H plus ions are accumulated here. So what is present in the lumen? Due to the splitting of water, H plus are there. Due to the quinone cycle, H plus ions are formed. So here the H plus ions are transported through this F0 complex. This is act as the proton bridge, proton channel. Then what about the second one? When the H plus molecules are moving through here toward the stroma, they can release some energy. They can release some energy. How they can release energy? So the movement of H plus ions, they can give the energy here. This process is explained by a specific theory, that is chemiosmotic hypothesis. The production of ATP, movement of H plus ions are explained by the chemiosmotic hypothesis. It is proposed by Peter Mitchell. Peter Mitchell in 1961, first he discovered the synthesis of ATP. So how? Through the F0 F1 complex. H plus ions are moving towards this bridge or F0 channel. They can release something, that means they are moving some force. This force is called as proton motive force. The force is called as proton motive force, PMF. Due to the proton motive force, they can release its energy in the movement of H plus ions. The movement of H plus ions or proton motive force can help in the binding of ADP with inorganic phosphate. So what happened here? ADP, which is present always in the stroma, it is bind with inorganic phosphate and which is formed as the ATP. See here, ATP is synthesized. So according to thermodynamics, so here according to Peter Mitchell, according to chemiosmotic hypothesis, here H plus ions are moved towards the protein complex. They can help in the formation of the ATP. This process is called as photophosphorylation, which takes place in light reaction. So here this is the final product of the light reaction. One is NADPH2, which is formed in the stroma. ATP also synthesized in the stroma. So these are the two final products we can call as assimilatory power. The light energy is converted into the chemical energy in light reaction. That chemical energy is ATP and NADP plus H plus. These both are helps in the of carbon dioxide. So that is, we discussed the latter, that is in dark reaction. See, there is a small doubt. Due to the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, ATP and NADPH2 both are synthesized, which is helps in next reaction. Oxygen gas also released due to the photolysis of water. Then what is the use of the cyclic photophosphorylation? Where it is essential? See, for the fixation of a single carbon dioxide molecule, the carbon dioxide is fixed in the carbohydrate, that is a dark reaction. For the fixation of a single carbon dioxide, there is essential of 2 NADPH2 plus and 3 ATP. 3 ATP molecules are essential and 2 molecules of NADPH2 are essential. For the fixation of a single carbon dioxide, it is converted into the CH2O. Okay. So here, how many ATPs are synthesized by this process? When the PS2 receive the 4 photons, it release the 4 electrons. 2 electrons give the 1 NADPH2. 4 electrons give the 2 molecules of NADP reduced into the 2 molecules of NADPH2. This is enough for the fixation of carbon dioxide. NADPH2 calculation is over. Then what about the ATP? How many ATP are essential here? 3 ATPs. So here, when the PS2 release the 4 electrons, that means it receive from the PS2 4 electrons. That means 4 electrons are transported to PS1. How much it lost? It must gain by the PS2. 4 electrons transported means the PS2 can receive the 4 photons of light energy. It releases the 4 electrons. 2 electrons are helps in the reduction of the quinone. It can transport the 2 H plus molecules. See here. 2 H plus ions are finally reaches to the lumen. 2 electrons are goes to cytochrome. But how many? 4 electrons are coming here. That means this process takes place 2 times. That means 4 H plus ions are transported to lumen. 2 times it takes place, 4 H plus ions are reaches to lumen. The 4 electrons finally goes to the PS1, whatever it may be lost. How many electrons lost by the PS2? 4 electrons are released. That means it wants 4 electrons. And for the receiving of 4 electrons, it can split the 2 water molecules. When the 2 water molecules are splitted into 4 electrons, 4 protons and 1 molecule of oxygen. This 1 molecule of oxygen is come out from the plant. 4 electrons received by the PS2. Electrons are gone, oxygen are liberated. What is remaining here? Only H plus molecules. 4 H plus from the stroma, 4 H plus is synthesized water. How many? 8 H plus are there. When 3 H plus molecules are transported through this enzyme, 1 ATP is synthesized. Then how many ATPs are choice here? Only 3 ones, 1 ATP. Next 3, 2 ATP. 1 proton is less. But there is 3 ATPs are essential. But here only 2 ATPs are possible. For the production of third ATP, there is a chance by the cyclic photophosphorylation. What is cyclic photophosphorylation? PS2 receive the light energy. It release the electron to iron sulfur to cytochrome, cytochrome to plastoquinone to cytochrome to plastocyanin, next goes to PS2. Due to this process, one quinone cycle takes place here. Due to the quinone cycle, H plus ions are transported to the lumen. what happened? H plus ions are transported to the lumen. So that here, when it receives the two photon light, it releases the two electrons. Those are goes to the quinone cycle. It releases the another two H plus ions by the cyclic phosphorylation, cyclic photophosphorylation. How many? Next two H plus molecules are here. 8 plus 2, 10. If it is take 4 photons, it can release the 4 electrons. It gives the another 2 H plus. That means 4. Total 12. So that here what happened? It gives the, there is a chance of 4 ATP. So that here 3 ATPs are enough for the fixation of carbon dioxide. 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. That means here the essential of non-cyclic and cyclic photophosphorylation in the light reaction. So for fixation of single carbon dioxide, how much NADP? 2 molecules of NADPH2 and 3 molecules of ATP is essential. It can use the CH2O. Then what about the glucose? It will be takes place 6 times. Then glucose will be synthesized. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 12 molecules of NADPH2, 18 molecules of ATP, then it gives the C6H12O6. Okay, this is the synthesis of glucose. How much energy is essential here? For the fixation of the carbon dioxide, for the formation of a glucose molecule, there is essential of the assimilatory power 12 molecules of NADPH2 and 18 molecules of ATP. How much oxygen is released here? 6 molecules, because 1 molecule is here. 6 times means 6 oxygen molecules of oxygen is released here. So this process is explained by the chemiosmotic hypothesis by the Peter Mitchell in 1961. So first the scientists are not accepted this, then laterly he can prove that experimentally. Finally they are accepted that. So in 1978 he got the Nobel Prize about the chemiosmotic hypothesis. This is about synthesis of ATP in presence of light, photophosphorylation. Thank you very much.